Here's a really interesting point from Miss Flight Q8F, who says, all right, so the middle-aged drunken thug was just a Photoshop trick. This is about comments on Mike Amesbury. And the answer is yes. Yes. Legally, the option has to be that there is a possibility that the middle-aged drunken thug was just a Photoshop trick, an AI trick, was an illusion, at least until after the court case. That is the presumption of innocence, because Mike Amesbury hasn't said anything to counter that possible interpretation. However, that is one side of the issue. The other side of the issue is the perfectly reasonable, common sense side that we have seen footage which seems to show let's use your language, a middle-aged drunken thug hitting one of his own constituents, claiming to be the sitting member of parliament for that area, and hitting that constituent when his face was turned aside, when he wasn't prepared to be hit, when he wasn't putting up any resistance, wasn't threatening, and so on. And that is a piece of footage which is doing the rounds. This is a different matter. This is about the power of the media and the power of social media video. And that shows the leadership of a member of the House of Commons. Now, what sort of leadership is that showing? It's not showing very good leadership. It's and if we wish to be inspired by that or copy that, we will be in serious trouble. And nothing has been said by that MP to contextualize that video, to claim that video is wrong. And it's on the grounds of the video being present on social media that I think this thug should resign from the House of Commons, because this is this undermines the credibility of the House of Commons, and it seriously compromises the image that the House of Commons wishes to project. These are two separate issues. Of course, it's convenient for people who wish to hide behind legal process to conflate these two issues. But I think in a sphere where we have minds, where we have an intellect, we should separate these two issues and make sure these two issues are both held to the highest possible standard. So while on the legal side we presume innocence, and we wouldn't remotely want to compromise the judicial process, on the social media side, with that footage doing the rounds, we have to call it out. We have to say that whoever that happens to be, that person is claiming to be the MP, and that is not worthy of an MP. That behaviour is inappropriate. And if that person is an MP, well, we're told that he deeply regrets that. Does he deeply regret the fact that the footage got out? Does he deeply regret his behaviour? Does he deeply regret hurting a constituent? What is it he deeply regrets? Because if he deeply regrets his behaviour, then he should have contextualised the footage. It's terribly simple. There are two issues ongoing, and it's really important that we don't confuse the two. Now, if there was no footage, if that footage hadn't been widely circulated, if there hadn't been multiple viewpoints of that footage, then yes, I think we would just simply leave the legal process to work out on its own. The problem is there is a second story which is the legal footage which is out in the public domain. And that puts a spin on things. And I don't think, if I were a constituent in Chester, I don't think I would want this man as my MP. If I were an MP sitting in the House of Commons, I don't think I would want this independent MP to sit next to me. Because who knows where his fists will fly next when he's unnerved or acting irresponsibly or when he's drunk. I don't know. And as I say, it may not be the same person. We have to allow for all of these possibilities legally.